And I was like, wow, I was so mindful. Stepping on the escalator, I will be so careful that I don't just fall down. In my own way, I started, struggling, and I said to myself, I don't want to do all these things again. So we just go to church for fun. Now let's sing song and just, all they talk about is love, God is this, God is that. But there was no life. I could remember what days so clearly. There was once in the church when we were during Halloween time. I didn't know what was actually Halloween.
Yeah.
So it was later when I began to investigate, I knew what it was. The pastor wore masks and came into the church and was like, and I'm like, seriously, Halloween day. And this thing happened, I couldn't, in fact, I couldn't figure it out because I didn't know what it actually was. So I was like, wow, this is nice, this is that. I didn't know it was all garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
So dirty.
So dead.
So after then, I didn't gain anything from them. So I came here. Now before I took a transfer from Vancouver Island University to school here in SFU, we were told from our scholars, from our scholarship board, to move from the school we have. And so I decided to apply to Victoria.
Okay.
So I applied to Victoria University. I started the application. The application went on. Now, very close to finish, there was a document they asked me to submit. And then I needed to copy some code from that document and, and put it in my application.
Mm-hmm.
So the document was not just around me. I need to find it. So I decided to, okay, let me just stop the application now. When I get the document, I'll continue the application till I finished it. So when I did,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot my password. I couldn't apply again to it. So when I came back, I struggled. I even sent an email to the school. Like, I am applying to get to this school, and I'm just almost there. But right now, I lost my I forgot some information that I needed to continue this application. Now I have this information. I can't log in. I'm having issues finding my way around this system.
All right.
And no response. The response they were giving me was not helping me. So I now decided, okay, since there's no help, I'm going to apply to another school. And the next school that came into my mind was SFU.
How did you hear about SFU?
I think I heard about it through a friend.
Okay.
They gave us some suggestion in school within BC.
Okay.
So when I heard about it, I said, okay, let me try. I Googled it and I saw it. I said, they have my program. They have economics. So why not? Let me just give it a try. And besides, I was told it's one of the biggest schools in BC, and indeed in Canada it's prestigious. So I said, okay, I will apply to it. Now I started the application and I finished it immediately. I think within that same day, I finished the application. So when I finished the application, I'm like, wow, this is so simple. And I was so mad with Victoria. Like, Victoria, you just waste my time. Look at everything just went smoothly. And after I finished applying, not too long, they sent me my application package that I've been admitted. So now I started making plans to move to come over to Vancouver and to SFU. So when I came, I moved over. I came in here, I think 2011.
Okay.
I started school SFU September 2011. Now when I started the school, I met some of my colleagues. We came together from Nigeria. And one of them was Stephen. I came with Stephen.
Yes.
And Fortune, she's a lady. I already knew her back home in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I met the two of them. And Fortune was actually going to Redeem Christian Church.
Okay.
And she invited me there. And I went with her. So when I entered the church, I saw some things. Well, they said, well, they're all Nigerians and majorly Nigerians, so I just fellowship with them. And with time, I joined the choir. Now, whilst I joined the choir, there was this fellowship that they usually hold. There's this one organized by the school.
Right.
Sorry, by the church, rather. It takes place every Tuesday by 6 or 7 p.m. Now, this was organized basically for students going to SFU by the church.
Okay.
Now, it runs only when the school is on section. So I attended that one. I attended the fellowship with them.
Is that on campus?
On campus, yeah. So they call the fellowship RCF, Redeemed Christian Fellowship.
Okay.
So I attended that one with them. So now, there was also another fellowship. Now, this one wasn't organized by the church or anybody. It was just Stephen, Jumai, Lillian, and Fortune, and some few other people that actually come together on their own free time.
Right.
And just fellowship and share some testimony together. So when I came in, I was also introduced into it, and I started fellowshipping with them. So literally, we now have Tuesday fellowship, which was organized by the church, and then we have this mini fellowship organized by us on Thursdays. And we're doing very well. We're having our own little, approaching the Bible in our own little way. So it was nice then. We thought we actually desired God that time. We prayed so much. We have this passion. Our taste was for God.
So something happened to you.
Yes.
Since you came over from Nanaimo.
Yes.
To these meetings.
Yes. That was when I knew that that church that I actually attended in Nanaimo were joking. It was when I came here I knew that they were actually joking.
Yeah.
That they were nowhere. Nowhere, that they were just dead.
Right.
So I started fellowshipping with these guys. And I saw their life were actually different. They were straightforward in whatever they do. They have this light in them. So I followed them, I joined them.
Okay.
And then soon after, I was affected by their lifestyle too. And then we started fellowshipping and all of that. So I was singing in the choir in church, fellowshipping with them also. Things were just going out that way normal. Now, it went on that way until one day I was away. I wasn't in fellowship that day.
Okay.
I thought maybe I was in my house or I went to somewhere. But during that time, to be sincere, we were still having some struggles in our life. We were still having some empty space. We know we were struggling, but we knew we were never there. We were not close.
Okay.
Because there were so many things in our lives that, it's unchristian. There were so many things we were struggling with. Our life wasn't, we wanted God. Before man could see us perfect, but God, we knew God has something against us. But anyways, that was a preparation ground. That was a ground God used to prepare our mind for the message. So when the message came, I wasn't there. I didn't even know what the message was. So I never knew that Stephen and John that brought the message were actually, meeting secretly and discussing the message. So I never knew. I was just there. I just come and fellowship with them. And I discover over time, as John and Stephen meet together, always, things were changing in Stephen's life. So when I heard prophet, I was like, oh, what are these guys talking about? Sit down and talk about programs, and at the end of the day, the people's life are not impacted. And then I read Malachi chapter 4. I said, this is John the Baptist. He said, no. John the Baptist, Malachi chapter 3. And I didn't even know Malachi chapter 3 existed. And all of a sudden, the same Stephen is not dancing when it comes to watching night service. It's just